Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Ready set for today's video. The beer's courtesy of Billy. Thanks so much, Billy. I really appreciate it. So it's the Napa Parabola. It's from 2019. I didn't rewatch my review, but I did review it, I think the year it came out. So it's been a while since I've had it. So it's Imperial Stout aged in wine barrels specifically, hence the name. I guess I'll read. Well, this is where I'll pick up. Fine wine meets a Firestone Walker legend in this special first-time release of Napa Parabola. Napa Parabola. Whereas our famed Parabola Imperial Stout is typically aged in bourbon barrels, this variant edition was matured in retired red wine barrels from one of Napa Valley's most prestigious cult wineries. This is a singular beer that marries the intense berry flavor of premier Cabernet Sauvignon. I forget to pronounce it. Cabernet Franc and Merlot with Parabola's own signature notes of dark fruit, tobacco, and chewy roasted malts. All resulting in unforgettable sensory experience. Serve at 45 to 55 degrees. It was in my stout fridge at 55 degrees. I just took it out, hit record, sat down, put the mic on, and started reading. If you don't know this about me, I love Parabola. It's a beer I actually really like. And I'm always excited to try different versions of it. Well, I'll pour it first. See if there's anything on the front worth reading. Maybe like the ABV. There is a red hue to it. It's very dark brown into black, but when I was pouring it, there is a red hue. Once it's in the glass, it's very much black with some brown. Way down here, the red was more noticeable when I was pouring it, but like a little bit, where it's thin down there, just a little bit. 11.3% ABV. That's probably the only thing I'm going to read off the front. All right, so just want to note, clean glassware. Like, for a change, I actually have clean glassware. Talked about the color of the beer itself. I'd say light mocha color head. Tiny nitro-sized bubbles, then regular small and some medium-sized bubbles for sure. A little bit of legs. Yeah, some lacing sticking around. Definitely a beautiful-looking beer. It looks like it's a bigger stout. And, maybe there is, the more I'm looking at it, there is a little bit of red fighting through the darkness of the black and the brown. Yeah, I hope it's coming off on camera. It's not like Kool-Aid red or whatever, but there is just a little bit red mixed in. That's so interesting. Anyway, let's get into the aroma. I do get, for me, it hits more like cherry and then some grapiness. Big chocolate, more dark than anything. Leather, tobacco. I'm really excited if I think of it. I usually don't. I'm not good about this. I will link to the other review I did. I'm really excited after doing this and stopping filming, going back and watching that as I finish this. I don't know. Now I kind of wish I'd watched it before just to see what's the same and what's different. But anyway, how much stout is still coming through, but there is this red wine thing. It's cool, and good level of oak too. Like there's a little bit of just like dry oak. I'm getting some vanilla. Here's an interesting one. Just like generic toast. It's probably char, but like generic toastiness. Not toasted marshmallow specifically, not toasted anything specific. Just like this generic toasted note of all things. I don't want to say roasty, I don't want to say smoky, but like toasty. Where your brain goes. Little rye, little blueberry. Yeah, that leather. Yeah, wow. I really like the smell of this. Wow. Like bran. Wow, really good. I bet I could keep going, but let's get into the taste because I'm super excited to see how this tastes. Cheers. Thanks again, Billy. I really appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember like when I reviewed it when it came out. If I thought things were like married and melded and well rounded, but you're getting a lot of that. But there are still some notes that are dominating, but still very harmonious, which I guess makes sense. Like if you're like listening to music and like maybe it's like a guitar solo, right? It's like that's the focus, but doesn't mean the other musicians aren't playing where it still is a cohesive experience. It's kind of like this. So like it's harmonious, it makes sense, but like some of the stuff sticking out a little bit more than the other things. That oak, like I got in the aroma, like it's specifically oak, but I also do get this specifically to me because I'm not like I like wine enough, but like with the channel I do focus on beer, not surprising. For me, generically red wine. So that makes perfect sense. The red wine part, I am, even though it is barrel aged, obviously, it's oak barrels, I am surprised how much oak specifically I'm getting. The chocolate, it's almost like a dusting, so like almost like more of like a cocoa powder. But yeah, like the leather, the tobacco, the little bit of vanilla, excuse me, like molasses, brown bread, bran, rye. Man, and that wow! Now I have some on my palate that smell. I love this smell so much. I loved it before I had anything on my palate, but it's like accentuating. It's really nice. That toasty thing is still there, but there is a little bit of like this roast thing also. You know what it is? No, I can be more specific with the toast. And I think because I said rye out loud, I connected the dots. It's like bread toast. Like you get a little bit. I don't know if that's malt. I don't know if that I don't know what's attributing to that. Could be the char, but like that's interesting. Some of the fruit flavors definitely shining through, but again, all harmonious. It is. It's kind of like when you go to a concert, if a band is doing this thing where like maybe like the lead singer is introducing all the members, So like when they introduce the trumpet player, like you get more trumpet, but like the rest of the band's still playing, right? And then the drummer, hey, and this is Steve on drums, and they do like a little solo. That really is kind of like this beer where like there are moments of pops of certain flavors, but the beer, like the rest of the musicians, is still playing the same way in a very harmonious, well-rounded way. It's kind of I haven't thought of a beer in these terms in a while, so it's kind of I know I'm like harping on it and trying to like find this analogy with the musicians to explain it. And you do really see a little bit more red, because it is both fireworks, like I think of as a fresher beer like this, but the harmonious part of it, like I think of an aged version of this beer. So it's I guess I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds is another way of saying it. I'm getting like the freshness of the pops, but I'm also getting the benefit of some age. That's pretty cool. So maybe like the sweet spot for drinking this beer for that or for those reasons. It's creamy. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It's not like syrupy. It's not like the fullest thing ever, but it is. It's a nice sip with how it feels too. Like, well, I mean, I'm trying to explain all these tastes, obviously, but it also has like that nice mouthfeel without being too much of anything. Not too syrupy, not too creamy, but there's a little bit of creaminess to it, which is nice. Yeah, that cherry, red wine, a little bit of grape, a little bit of blueberry. Yeah, those fruit notes. I don't know what the unsung hero of this beer is, or if there even is one. But like the fruit notes are really fun in this beer. I guess I'll put it that way. Like those fruit notes are very fun in this beer, while still getting some classic stout things, some classic Parabola specifically things. Yeah, I would say this is equal parts fun and delicious, and I think that's clear from how I've articulated in this video. So, Billy, I really appreciate it. Thanks again for sending it. Like, it's so awesome, and I think it's clear how much I'm enjoying this beer on several levels. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have you guys had this beer before? Have you had just Parabola or a variant of Parabola you want to talk about? Just a nice beer you've been drinking lately or whatever? Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check them out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both of those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.